Social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. The number is 855-450-FREE, or you can use the Discord lines, call-in lines there on Discord at discord.freetalklive.com. You got to download an app, but you'll sound a lot better. Discord.freetalklive.com. It's Mark with you.
Melanie.
Aria.
And, well, Aria, you've got some story on the death penalty in Arkansas. We just talked about the death penalty in New Hampshire being repealed. And, well, it's kind of silly in New Hampshire because even though they have the death penalty, it hasn't been used since the 30s.
Really?
So, and they don't have a way to, there's no death house. There's no electric chair. There's no strap down for lethal injection. There's no gas chamber. There's no nothing.
I thought there was one guy on death row.
That's right. So they have death row, right?
So
like
New Hampshire has one guy on death row.
A cell that they have repurposed as death row. They have one guy on it. Yeah.
That's what I was told during the debates about the bill. Yeah.
Yes.
How long has it been on it?
Probably half a decade, about 5 years.
Okay. This obviously still is superfluous, and I obviously oppose the death penalty.
Well, for a state that claims to be fiscally responsible, the death penalty is fiscally irresponsible. There are lots and lots and lots of appeals.
Wouldn't it be more fiscally irresponsible to keep them for 15, 20 years?
In Ancapistan it would, not in the state, because you have all these ridiculous appeals not necessarily ridiculous appeals, because the state is insane, but you have all of these extensive repeals, and you have to hire all these special lawyers, and it's the legal costs exceed. Amazingly, they have managed to get the legal costs of one set of appeals to exceed the cost of maintaining someone in prison for life.
By a long shot, like 10
Really?
times as much in legal fees to execute somebody as it is in bologna sandwiches and uncomfortable sleeping mats than it is to keep them in regular jail or prison for their lifetime. Prison, effectively, if you think about it, right? Like, so you get this open bay dormitory.
It's a death sentence.
Well, life is a death sentence.
Fair enough.
You're going to die at some point. You can die in prison if you have a long enough prison sentence. But if you have a prison dormitory with 70 that holds 80 people and there's 70 people in it, right? Mm-hmm. How much more does it cost to put 5 more bodies in that dormitory?
Probably not a lot.
Not a lot. I mean, 3 bologna sandwiches a day, effectively. A bag of maybe you go crazy and get a bag of pre-mixed egg product. I mean, you're not talking about
this is depressing
cost when it comes to incarceration once you have the building and the officers and that kind of thing there. So, anyway. That was, you asked about the cost of keeping somebody, and I'm telling you, keeping somebody in prison for life is a mitigable cost when you look at it from an individual.
Well, that's also not how they're going to measure it, and
Nope,
I don't think that's
not.
even the fair way to measure it, because you need average cost, not marginal cost, for that to be fair. And they do use average cost, which averages out the cost of the salary of the guards and the building. The
average cost for a convict in California is something like $75,000, and in like Alabama or no Louisiana, that's right. It was Louisiana. It's something like $35,000 or $30,000. So you figure it out from there. It's all fine and dandy, but
and it costs well over that to fight an appeal for a death sentence.
Sure, it just keeps on going and going and going. And
well, if the state is going to have a death penalty, I would much rather it be exorbitantly expensive.
Well, right, yeah, me too. Yeah, especially
you
since
won.
they keep falsely convicting people, so it's not unfair to have an extensive appeal process if you want to kill a guy.
And the places where they're most likely to use the death penalty, they have the least efficient criminal justice systems, the ones that are most messed up. And how do you solve that? Well,
what would those states be?
Southern states.
Oh, yeah.
Places like Mississippi, where you're from, and Louisiana, where Melanie's from, and, Florida to some extent where I'm from, but probably not quite as bad. So, anyway, what are they saying?
Florida's not really the South.
Well, it's a story from Arkansas about death row inmates who have filed a federal lawsuit over whether the sedative that Arkansas uses for lethal injections.
Yep.
What did I say? Sedative?
Yep.
Okay. Causes torturous executions.
Okay.
This is coming 2 years after the state, hurried to put 11 people to death, or eight people to death within 11 days because some of their drugs were expiring.
Right.
And
so
they couldn't get
it's really hard for state governments to get these death penalty drugs these days, which makes no sense, but whatever.
Well, actually,
yeah, because the company that made fentanyl suddenly developed a conscience.
They don't. Well, no, actually, the pharmaceutical companies do not want to sell it to them.
Sure.
Oftentimes, the states will use what is not technically this, but basically the same thing as a shell corp to buy the execution drugs because these drugs have other purposes.
What are the other purposes?
Well, barbiturates, sedatives.
I gotcha.
Morphine sometimes.
So there's a cocktail that's mixed together.
Yeah, so it's usually at least 3 things.
Okay.
So sometimes the pharmaceutical companies will even be in other countries and sue to get the drugs back because they were bought under fraudulent pretenses. I'm not sure how you could sue to get your products back, but apparently sometimes they do that. But yeah, they have to go to great lengths to hide their identity and what they're going to do with the drugs.
I mean, heroin addicts all across the nation have shown that they can overdose on opiates relatively effectively. So we have all the evidence we need as to how much. Just put that together if they wanted to do that.
But you'd still have to find a pharmaceutical company to sell you large quantities of heroin.
Well,
I really don't see why that would be that difficult.
Let's go to James calling in from Indianapolis. James, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello. I just have a comment or just about execution.
Sure.
On the death penalty. My uncle was robbed at gunpoint.
Yep.
And the person, he gave his wallet up and the cash in his wallet up, and the person still shot and killed him.
Disgusting.
And that person was found later because the police did a canvass and found the person, and they had his wallet and his identification, his credit cards on him. And as a result of that, he was prosecuted, and he was put on death row, sentenced to death. But, like what you were saying, due to the lengthy appeals process and, going over and over and over again with various things, he hasn't been executed yet. And this was 20 years ago.
20?
So, yes, there's been multiple things, and there's been claims that
do you want to see this guy executed?
Somebody else, and I'm sorry.
Do you want to see this guy executed?
Yeah, because my uncle was like a second father to me.
How is this going to help you?
It would just help me to close his death, I think.
Do you think that part of the
bring closure to me?
Do you think part of the closure issue might be that you have this expectation that the death is going to occur, and it keeps not happening? That if he had been sentenced to life, like that certainly could have happened in other states, certainly could have happened in other states, that you would then apply the closure because he was sentenced to life and he's never getting out?
You know what? Absolutely. You're right. I would.
Yeah. I think that the government's dragging you along.
I don't know how punishment in general is going to help.
Well, we can discuss that here shortly. Thank you for the call, James. Appreciate the call. Sorry to hear about your uncle. Yeah. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com. Or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. The number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. It's Mark with you.
Melanie.
Are you?
So you can stay in touch with Free Talk Live sort of the old-fashioned ways. You can go to the freetalklive.com and click through to the main page and enter your email address and get our newsletter and those sorts of things. And we'd love you to do that. You can check out the forum at forum.freetalklive.com, and you can talk with a small smattering of people that are on the forum. Or you can use these platforms that just are chock full of people. I'm looking at our D-Live chat. Go to dlive.freetalklive.com. That's dlive.freetalklive.com. And there's people following. We've got hundreds of follows there. Looking at the Twitch chat, and it's busy in there. Some guy named Reviler talking about how our callers suck. Whatever. You can go to...
He has been watching LRN for 5.5 hours now. I mean, he's like a super fan at this point. Rev, we love you. I'm just saying.
Dedicated. You can go to the Discord chat at discord.freetalklive.com. I mean, it just scrolls by. I just keep watching it go. People are on there, old and new. People drop in. It's amazing.
I generally like to be interactive with people on Call to Freedom, like on the Twitch chat and the D-Live chat.
Tell us about Call to Freedom real quick.
Well, it's the show that airs just before Free Talk Live, Monday through Friday, at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a show that I host.
On LRN.FM. That's our...
Or dlive.lrn.fm or twitch.lrn.fm.
That's our online network.
Yes.
Yep. So, pretty awesome.
And I like interacting with people in those chats, but oftentimes it will just come in too quickly, or it will be filled with, is that a trap? Kind of questions that just aren't worth responding to. But it just, it is busy continually. And watching, 3 different chats, because there's YouTube as well and Discord and all of that, is just not effective while trying to do a show.
Oh, right. You can't chat and do that. Sometimes you can look over and see something there, but whatever. Not how we're doing it. There's a post that says America needs to shut down all mosques and ban Islam, but you won't repost this. Oh, swell.
Why would we repost that? I mean, there was a Muslim here on the LRN channel or family for years.
Yeah, we don't need to do that, and it's absolutely ludicrous. But if you want to post it in the chat room, you can, and... Well, all right, whatever.
That's certainly your opinion.
People say all kinds of crap on the internet.
They do indeed.
Dumb stuff on the internet. Wait, there's a dumb person on the internet. So speaking of dumb people on the internet, I guess we were talking about the death penalty, and everybody's got their opinion on this.
They do.
Mine used to be pro-death penalty. As far as I'm concerned, you take out a mad dog and you shoot it, and I don't lose sleep at night right now thinking that there are guilty people on death row right now that are going to be executed in the near future in America. My heart does not bleed for...
Well, no, we have to go about our lives.
Right.
I mean, we can't dwell on things like that continually. You go insane.
But we just had a caller call in, and, he had a terrible thing happen to his uncle. He was killed. And... the murderer has sat on death row for 20 years, and he basically said that he would like to see him killed to get closure. And one can understand.
No one can't.
I can understand. We'll talk to you about your not understanding here. Let me finish the statement real quick. But at the same time, he also agreed that it was likely the state that was making him hang on because the sentence has not been fulfilled. Whereas if it had been a life sentence, basically it's fulfilled and everybody goes on. From there. So what's your statement that you can't understand punishment?
Yeah, I don't understand it. And I realize that my situation is unique in this regard because my mother was murdered. And the person, her body's never been found. It will never be found. And although everyone knows who did it, because there's no body, the person who murdered her will never be held accountable. He was sent to prison for an mostly unrelated murder. And he served 10 years for beating his friend to death with a hammer.
Oh, my God.
To steal $2,000 from her. Yeah, really messed up individual.
Only got 10 years for that?
Yeah, only 10 years. And he didn't even serve the full sentence. Well, he was out on parole after year 8.
Well, I will defend the criminal justice system and its systems of releasing people early, because if you don't give inmates some kind of hope to get out early, what's the point in acting good in prison?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So...
But I wouldn't recommend anybody have a family member murdered or anything like that.
Sounds bad.
But if it's going to happen to you, having the person who did it, the murderer, escape without any real consequences whatsoever, it will make you into a more healthy person than one of these people who sits around barbarically, animalistically, lusting after vengeance, trying to change the past by doing a second wrong, by trying to create this eye for an eye world where two wrongs make a right. I mean, because of those circumstances, I had no choice but to find closure within myself about it and to learn to forgive the person who did it, because there was no other option. So my
forgiveness is for the forgiver, not for the forgiven, right? Like the person whom you forgave likely, A, does not know that you forgave them, right?
No.
You're not spending a lot of time chit-chatting with him about, the murder that he has not been convicted of that you forgive him for.
Right.
So it's for you, and that's the best thing. Certainly, the step one is learn to deal with it. The best way to learn to deal with it is start with forgiveness. It's the reason that all major religions talk about forgiveness, is because, well, it's for you, it's not for them.
But when people lust after punishment, it's not forgiveness that they're seeking. They're not seeking to forgive the person. They're looking to see them punished. And it's because, those two things are directly at odds. You can either forgive someone or you can want to see them punished for it. But it can't be both.
I can't say that there aren't people in this world that I would like to see bad things happen to that have done bad things to me. I mean, that seems... Obviously, there's a place to start for forgiveness, right? And it'd be really nice if they would learn the error of their ways. But in many cases, many people don't learn the error of their ways until they're caught, and some kind of consequences come down upon them.
I don't have an answer to that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're just out there, and they're, sadly, human beings are not as evolved as I would like them, and certainly you would like them to be.
Well, so you can let something go and not obsess over it without forgiving the person.
Okay.
Some people don't necessarily need to be forgiven. That doesn't mean I sit down all the time, and I have done this in the past. That doesn't mean I sit down all the time and it's like, I really hate Jerome Powell and Walter Reed, and what can I think up in my mind to have done to them so that I can just think about it and hope they go to prison. I don't do that. At least...
Well, even that I would say is healthy.
What?
I would say it's healthy. If you hate someone like that, it would be healthy to have this sort of violent fantasy, for lack of a better word, regarding them, because, you're fulfilling that without actually aggressing against anyone.
Well, so in the case of these two people, it would be really difficult, and I don't expect you to know, but it would be really difficult to actually aggress against them. But, so without retaliating against them, sure, I have gone down the road of I'm going to seek all the vengeance I can, and that does not have good results. But that doesn't mean, I'm not actively, seeking vengeance, but if Walter Reed ever does go to prison, I am going to celebrate it, but then, the next day I'm going to be all right, whatever, what are we doing today?
What about the people that continually, like you said that the person who killed your mother, allegedly, also killed somebody else with a hammer and went to prison for 10 years?
I have no doubt he would have killed somebody within those eight-ish years that he was in prison if he hadn't been caught.
Right.
So, certainly prison seems to have served a purpose of at least causing him to inhibit his violent tendencies.
Sounds like a success.
I don't want to say it was successful or unsuccessful. What he did was immoral, but responding to that immorality with an additional immorality, I don't think ultimately really helped anything. So I guess I would say it's only successful in a very narrow sense.
All right, well, pardon me if I don't entirely understand. The number is 855.
I don't entirely understand.
Good. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live. Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event. Even with coupon code FTL50. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTL50 for a discount.
Many people believe they don't control their own destiny because they haven't chosen to take the first step towards the life they've always dreamed of. Let them continue just getting by while you make the choice to do something about your future. Imagine working from home, earning the income you deserve. Start small or dream big. Work part-time or full-time. You choose the pace. Just visit startlivingyoung.com. That's startlivingyoung.com. And click on the Be Your Own Boss tab. Discover Juness, a state-of-the-art global health products company that spent 5 years on the Inc. 5,000 fastest-growing private companies in America list with over $1 billion a year in sales. They'll provide all the tools you need to thrive and succeed. And you'll be blown away by how little it takes to get started. Visit startlivingyoung.com today and click on the Be Your Own Boss tab at the top of the page. 2019 will be the year your new life begins. Your destiny awaits at startlivingyoung.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at GetCell411.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, final segment. You can call in, probably be able to get you in here. The number's 855-450-3733. It's Mark with you.
Melanie.
Aria.
You know, a lot of people ask about our show prep, the stories that we talk about and those kind of things. Well, we have a show prep Telegram group. All you have to do is go to telegram.freetalklive.com. That's telegram.freetalklive.com. And you can see all the stories we have there. Aria, you're going to post this death penalty thing from the Arkansas there in the Telegram group?
Sure.
Okay. Just put it right up there, and folks will be able to look at that show prep and check it out and read it further or whatever. And I don't know. People want it.
Interesting.
Telegram.freetalklive.com. Let's go to the phones. Liberty Phoenix. Been a long time, Liberty Phoenix. You're on Free Talk Live.
Pleasure talking to you again, Your Majesty.
Oh, thank you.
Ladies.
Loyal subject.
So I've got a bit of local drama in, the occupied states of Illinois.
All right.
I'm here in Aurora. And there has been an individual that was released from prison. He was part of this crew called the Ripper Crew. I guess they had murdered like 18 people 30 some odd plus years ago. He had a 70-year sentence. He got, 1 day for good behavior taken off, so he got out in 30 years. He was supposed to go to a neighboring town. They decided not to keep him, so he came to the Wayside Cross Ministries here in Aurora.
Okay.
They put him up. It's a place, halfway house for registered sex offenders, people that can't go anywhere else. You know what I mean?
So he's a registered sex offender also?
I don't believe he is a registered sex offender because I don't think he was ever convicted of any sex crimes. Okay. But he was convicted of murdering at least one person.
Of murdering, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And their crew had killed like 18 people. Okay. But of course, he comes there. The mayor has this huge outcry. There's a huge outcry in the public. Catalyzed by what I think is an individual seeking political office and attempting to push legislation that is going to track and trace every single bullet that is sold in Illinois.
I do hear these stories every now and then. So people don't seem to realize that murderers get released from prison all the time. They return to society, thus return to society all the time. And surprise, surprise, they tend not to kill people again. Murderers are the least likely group to recidivize. And, take it for what it's worth.
They've had protests outside the ministry. They plan on shutting the place down. I mean, and this is a place that does good work for people that really need it. I mean, these people have nowhere else to go.
And so the state likely has his parole is in place, so he has to stay within Illinois. I suppose he could run off to East St. Louis or something, someplace horrible, never get a job, and basically, be forced into a life of crime as a result. But what else does he do? He's got to go somewhere.
So, of course, the debate now is, well, can't the city just tell the ministry that he can't live there? Like, can't we just tell him no? So now these people are actually debating whether or not a ministry can house a person that has served their time. Yep. As far as the law is concerned, he has no more beef with them. He did his time. They let him out. And these people actually are debating whether or not they can use the violence of government to force this man from a Christian ministry.
Sure. It is once you get once the subject gets out there, then everybody gets their opinion, right? And obviously, murder's bad. Nobody's going to say otherwise. But
I'm not going to fault them for not wanting to. I respect their freedom of association. Don't go around him.
Right. Don't hang out with him. But I mean, a Christian ministry, ladies and gentlemen, most of you probably would identify as Christians. Let's not forget whom Paul and Jesus and all these people would say that you're supposed to be paying the most attention to. One of the things that Christians are supposed to do as a Christian, supposed to do, is to visit people who are in prison. I mean, how many Christians are doing that? There's lots of great Christians doing lots of great things in the world, but it's quite literally written there in the Bible. And presumably, if you're visiting people in prison, you're empathizing with them so that you can convert them. This guy's at a ministry. We have no evidence that he's not Christian at this point and converted and trying to live out of his life in a good way. I hope he doesn't do anything terrible. He certainly could. 30 years in prison doesn't exactly prepare you for the working world. That's for sure.
Especially not in this one. I mean, because you figure 30 years ago to now, technology has advanced so much. I mean, he's so far beyond the curve. He's going to have to do something menial if he is doing anything. And that's what the ministry does. The place has a thrift store in the lower portion of it.
Yep, that's what Goodwill does. Basically, it's the same business model.
Exactly.
But they give jobs to ex-convicts so that they can sift through your junk that you got to government tax write-off for and determine what's saleable and what's not, because I can tell you the people who give it certainly can't. And then they fill dumpsters every day with this stuff, and they try to make a few things work, and launder some clothes and maybe sell off your car, and that's really about it. I'd love to know the percentage of the crap that we give to Goodwill that actually ends up going on the shelves.
That'd be a good number. But I think one of the most interesting parts of this whole situation is that the main person pushing for this, other than the mayor, but the main person organizing protests and advocating that he be expelled through the violence of government is an individual who was attempting to run for alderman in the city and works for a company that tried to sell, tried to get ammunition manufacturers to utilize this technology of tracing their bullets, but failed. So now they're going to try and push it through the legislature. And it feels like this gentleman is just using the the variety and the fame so he can push this draconian legislation that is going to require. I mean, if within 2 years, from my understanding of the legislation, within 2 years, any ammunition that is not traced has to be destroyed. So all your preppers, everybody that has saved up ammunition for the coming war and apocalypse, you are going to become a felon if you don't get rid of any ammunition that's not traced, that's not traceable. Not to mention, what is this going to do to the reloading community?
Right, like that's these people that save a lot of money on their hobby of shooting by reloading their ammunition. So they take, they make bullet heads or something. They melt lead, I guess, into the shape of the bullets and stick them on the old brass.
You can buy all of that.
Yeah, you could buy reloaded ammunition.
Well,
also.
I mean, you can buy the stuff to do it yourself without actually being a coppersmith or whatever.
Sure,
I knew a lot of people in Mississippi who did it.
It's not hard to melt lead. That's for sure.
Not at all.
No, I mean, you can absolutely do it.
I have never tried.
And I mean, and not to mention the people who store ammunition. I've been told it's the number one thing you should be storing. So, not a bad idea to have a little.
There's a certain degree of logic to that statement.
Sure. Right. I mean, if something bad happens, it'd be nice to have some 22 longs to, bring down some prey. Start eating raccoons.
Yeah, let's go with that.
But if it's not traceable, you can't have it. Sorry, we have to know. We have to implant, put this overly intrusive surveillance of your property, jam it down your throat, shove it in your life, and you deal with it or not. Comply or die. That's what they're saying.
This is the one. This is the area where the gun grabbers are going to probably have the most success. When it comes to is ammunition. They've had some success in California with copper rounds, and it's going to be regulation on ammunition that just makes it more and more and more difficult to pursue the hobby of gun ownership. And I don't know. I don't have any good solutions for you, Mr. and Mrs. America. If you care about guns, there's a lot of people that are gunning for you.
Yeah. If you care about guns, too bad, because we don't care about you.
Yep.
I would suggest not listening to the government's edicts about what you can and can't have. Because the only reason they want to restrict people's arms is because they know that one day they will push us too far, and those arms will be used against them.
Right, but where are you going to get it from is the thing. Like, if it's illegal, it's not going to just be in the store. It's not going to be at Walmart. It's not going to be at Shooters Outpost. It's not going to be,
No, you'd have to get them now, prior to the release of this legislation. I mean, once you allow government to start curtailing people's right to defend themselves to a degree like that, you're kind of already screwed if you haven't prepared for the eventuality.
Well, you figure if we started with the water at ice cold temperature, it's almost boiling at this point.
Indeed. Thanks for the call, Liberties Phoenix. Appreciate it. 855. I'm not giving out the number. Aria, do you carry a slim ladies a pistol?
I carry a 38.
Well, 380 or 38?
38.
Oh, that's not ladylike at all. Check us out.
It doesn't have to be.
Our DLive channel, dlive.freetalklive.com, Twitch, twitch.freetalklive.com. Open up a... Keep an eye on our channel the whole time because it gives us views. Free Talk Live.
Warning, if you're
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Coming up next after the news, hour one of the latest episode of Free Talk.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,277. Silver at $15. And Bitcoin is trading around $5,306. Today's prices.
You're listening to the Heartland Newsfeed Radio Network, heartlandnewsfeed.com.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,277. Silver at $15. And Bitcoin is trading around $5,306. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, as 5G technology begins to roll out across the country, it's being met by a massive wave of resistance over concerns that it can cause health problems. While 5G is still relatively new, concerns over 4G and older technology still persist. A school in California has taken things to the next level and removed a cell tower from their campus after several students and teachers were diagnosed with cancer. Since 2016, 4 students and 3 teachers have been diagnosed with different forms of cancer at Ripon Elementary. Also, 2 smaller children, too young to attend school, who live near the school tower, have been treated for a malignant tumor and leukemia. And a 22-year-old former student has recently undergone surgery for a brain tumor.